Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue on with number 19. Again, let me set my timer. Okay, so number 19 we have, remember, this is a straight line, so we call that supplementary, two supplementary angles, and if it's a straight line, we know that it has to equal 180. If we look here, this is not a straight line, this is a corner, which means it's complementary, and complementaries equal 90. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. You're going to do number 20 on your own. So I have x is one of my angles plus 2x is equal to 180. So that gives me, I have to go ahead and combine my like terms. An x plus 2x's would give me 3x is equal to 180. Now I just divide both sides by 3. So I'm left with x is equal to 180 divided by 3, which is 60. Go ahead and do number 20 on your own. Okay, and we're going to move on to 21. So this is, we want total surface area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by numbering each shape. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All I want is total surface area, so mark out lateral. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and write shape, formula, plug in, answer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write number 1 is a rectangle, 2 is also a rectangle, 3 is also a rectangle, 4 is a triangle, 5 is a triangle. Okay, now I'm going to write my formulas. You do not have to guess formulas because you're given a chart. So I know for a triangle, it's base times height divided by 2, so I'm going to put that here. Okay, and then for rectangles, it's just base times height. So base times height, base times height, base times height. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start to plug in my numbers. So for the base and height of the rectangle, well, I know the base is 17 for this one. Remember, they're not all the same, so you need to make sure that you don't just put the same numbers. So 17 times the height is 18, because they're all of these heights are 18. So 17 times 18. Okay. For number 2, that base is 12. The height is still 18. Number 3 is the same as number 1, so that's just 17 times 18. And now we're going to go ahead and figure out the triangles. These two triangles are the same. The base of each triangle is the same as the base of this rectangle. So it'd be 12 times the height, which is 16, divided by 2, and it's the same for the other one. Okay. Now I just go ahead and solve. So I'm going to do 12 times 18 on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so I have 12 times, give me 1 second, 12 times 17 is, sorry, not 12 times 17, 17 times 18 is 306. So we know this one's also 306. And then 12 times 18 is 216. And then 12 times 16 divided by 2 is 96. So these two have to be 96. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add them. Okay. So to find my total surface area, I would add all of them. If it were lateral, I just wouldn't add the bases, which were 4 and 5. Okay. We know that because we just shade them. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of these up. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sixes. I know that that would be 30. Carry my 1. 3 plus 0 is 0. Is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus a 0 is 4. Plus 9 would give me 13. Plus another 9 would give me 22. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. So my answer is 1,020. You're going to go ahead and do number 22 on your own. Okay. They want you to find lateral and total surface area. I'm okay with you just finding lateral. So lateral would mean everything except the bases. In this case, the bases are these two because they're the wings that are sticking out. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to composite figures. So remember that we're going to go ahead and break up the shape. I'm actually going to do, so let's see, I'm going to do number 23. I'm going to do number 23 and 25. So I'm going to start with my 4-column process chart. Okay, it's very similar to the one above. I'm going to break up my shape so I see a triangle and then I just see a rectangle. Okay, so triangle and rectangle. For the rectangle, it's just going to be base times height. And I know that the base is 10. So the height has to be 5. Okay, so now I already know the answer for that one. That's 50. Now, for the whole thing, it looks like the whole base would be 14, but I need to figure out how much is from the triangle's base to the triangle's to the very top. So I know that from here to here is 10. The whole thing is 14. So if I just want this piece right here, which is the same as the height of the triangle, I would do 14 minus 10 to find h for the triangle. So that would be 4. 4 times, we know that the base is 12, and then divide by 2. Okay, so 4 times 12 is 48. If I divide that by 2, that would give me 24. So now to just find the area of the whole thing, I just add. So that'd be 4 plus 0 is 4, and then 2 plus 5 is 74. So that would be B. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to number 25. Okay, for number 25, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this is not a full circle. This is 1/4 of a circle. Okay, so Judah is putting in new grass in his garden shown below, which is made up of a rectangular circle and a quarter circle. So it even tells you right here, 1/4. Okay, so how many square feet of grass does he need? So I'm going to go ahead and start with my 4-column process chart. Okay, I have a rectangle and then a quarter circle. I'm just going to put QS. For the rectangle, it's just base times height. For the quarter circle, it's pi times r divided by 4. So for this one, this is 1/2, so you know it would be pi times r divided by 2, okay? The base of the rectangle is 12, and then the height is 4 feet. So all I'm going to do is multiply 12 times 4, which is 48. And then for the circle, it's going to be pi times r. So what's the radius? Well, the radius would be the same here. So it'd be 4. Okay? 4 times pi, and then divide that by 4. Okay? So I'm going to do 4 times 4 is 16, and then 16 times 3.14. So I'm just going to write 16 right there. 4 times 6 is 24, carry my 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, then I'm going to start with a 0. That's 4, 1, and 3. And now add. That is 50.24. But now I have to divide 50.24 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that over here. 50.24 divided by 4 is, let's see, that goes in twice. Then I subtract, I get 2, 22, that would be 5. And then that would give me 20. So 12.56 is for the circle. So now I just need to add everything up. Remember, I have a decimal here. I don't have a decimal up here, so I add a decimal and 2 zeros. That would be 56, 10. So my answer is 60.56. A equals 60.56.